So you've made it off the beach and you've gained the elemental skill of wind called Animal. There's no doubt that you saw the short explanation of how to use elemental reactions and promptly closed it. Now you're hacking and slashing with the Traveler until stuff dies. The next fight, you try using Amber and you plug a few arrows into the enemy, and it takes forever. If you've watched my previous videos, I made a statement that you don't need to understand elemental reactions to complete the story content. While this is true, I don't mean that you should just use one character to attack over and over again with basic attacks. So what should I do, you might be wondering? In this video, we'll spend some time looking into this. There are currently 7 elements in the game. The system for these elements can get quite deep despite people calling it simple. Allow me to explain my way of viewing things to start your journey. The game is designed to rotate characters in and out. Each character can be viewed as a skill rather than a character. Creating large damage, known as elemental reactions, requires at least 2 elements. Animo, Geo, and Dendro work a little differently and can be talked about at another time. What we'll look at today are Hydro, Electro, Pyro, and Cryo. In addition to each character being thought of as a skill rather than a character, it's also important to know what element each character is. Your first attacker will apply some element when they attack using their secondary skill. Note that each element does not get applied by melee weapons such as swords. After you've used your first character's skill, switching to the second character and using their skill will cause an elemental reaction if the hero has a different element type. So for example, Rosaria will apply Cryo here. You can see the enemy has the ice element Cryo applied by this indicator here. I'll switch to Xinyan and use her fire skill. We can see some text pop up which says Melt. Because the fire has melted the ice, we get the elemental reaction damage with a prompt of Melt, telling us which reaction has occurred. As long as you combine 2 different elements, Hydro, Electro, Pyro, and Cryo, you'll get boosted damage. And that's all you really need to know to be able to complete the story content. Let's try another example. If we use Zhonling, her skill will place Guoba, who will repeatedly apply Pyro. So I can stay using Rosaria and melee attack while my skill is down and Guoba is reapplying Pyro. The same can be said for Fischl's Oz and Zhonling's Guoba, while I continuously attack using Zhonling. This is actually how I spent the majority of my early game. My main team eventually became Noelle, Zhonling, Fischl, and Barbara. I always made sure Barbara's Water Ring was up, Zhonling's Guoba was out, and Fischl's Oz was out, and then I just attacked using either Noelle or Zhonling. With this combination, I didn't think about elemental reactions at all. I just used melee attacks and skills when they came up. Thanks for joining me for another video. My name is Kiyomaru, and until next time, friends.